Welcome to Lemon-Squeezy Education. This video is on Milgram's study of obedience and situational variables. After World War II, many people argued they were simply following orders. Milgram wanted to investigate how powerful obedience to authority can be. To test this, he recruited 40 male participants through a newspaper advert who believed they were taking part in a study about the effects of punishment on learning. When they arrived, they met another participant who was actually a Confederate working with Milgram. The real participant was always assigned the role of a teacher, while the Confederate became the learner. The learner was strapped into a chair in another room and attached to electrodes. Whenever the learner made a mistake on a learning task, the teacher had to press a switch on a shock generator, increasing the voltage each time. The shocks weren't real, but the participant didn't know that. As the voltage increased, the learner began to shout in pain, begged to be released, and eventually became completely silent. Whenever participants hesitated, the experimenter, dressed in a grey lab coat, used a series of standard verbal prompts, such as "please continue" or "the experiment requires that you continue." One of his main findings in this study include that 65% of participants continued all the way up to the maximum 450 volts. These findings made Milgram curious to study further into factors that can influence obedience. He was interested in three situational variables: proximity, location, and uniform. Proximity simply means how physically close the authority figure or victim is. Milgram carried out several variations of his original study to test this. In one variation, the teacher and learner were placed in the same room. So instead of only hearing the learner, participants could now see the person they believed they were shocking. When the victim became closer, obedience fell from 65% to 40%. In another variation, participants had to physically force the learner's hand onto the electric shock plate. This made participants feel even more personally responsible for the learner's pain, and as a result, obedience dropped even further to around 30%. So Milgram found that the closer the victim was, the less likely people were to obey. He was also interested in the effect of the location. In Milgram's original experiment, it took place in Yale University, which is world famous and highly respected. Participants may have trusted the experiment because of Yale's reputation. To test this idea, Milgram repeated the study in a rundown office building owned by a private research company, but everything else about the experiment remained the same. This time, obedience fell from 65% to 47.5%. Although almost half of the participants still obeyed, the reduction suggests that the prestige and legitimacy of the location can increase obedience. Milgram concluded that people are more likely to follow orders when they believe the organisation has authority and credibility. He was also interested in the effect of uniform. In his original study, the experimenter wore a grey lab coat, making them appear as a legitimate authority figure. Milgram wondered whether people obeyed because of the person or because of what they represented. So he replaced the experimenter with an ordinary member of the public wearing everyday clothes. When the experimenter no longer looked like an authority figure, obedience dropped to 20%. This suggests that uniform acts as a powerful symbol of authority. People are often more willing to obey somebody simply because they appear to have legitimate authority. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more educational related content.